this off the floor. Leave some alone. I'll right now. Okay? Alright? I didn't know you were laying here. I thought you were still over there. That's why I'm gonna let you go. You okay? What is it? Should I not? It's on you, bro. In the house. Ron Ho, what's happening, beloved? Oh, yes, ABJR, snoo, baby girl. What's that? going to get quite a bit of reading in right now. Hopefully 6 minutes. It shouldn't take, hopefully, no more than an hour. I'm going to be pretty specific in my readings. It's like battling. Like one person trying to listen to 10 people talking at one time. I know. So again, I'm going to attempt to get it in within an hour. Maybe a little longer. But we're going to read about, it's roughly about, if I say the number, I know who's going to leave, but 6 books. But I'm going to keep it pretty precise to what's going to be read, okay? Of course, we're going to start off with the Land of Mars, so it's the last paragraph. And hopefully we get that book, the 4th book, soon. I ordered it, y'all saw I ordered it, so hopefully it comes because I really want to read it. I'm not going to lie, I'd rather read it before any of y'all, but we're going to read it together. And that's how we're going to do it. So we're in Chapter 7, The Dark Membrane, Information Behind the Great Dome. Yesterday we covered the portal hidden on Mars. Remember that? So Stargate stuff. I guess that's to disseminate this information or to make people look at it but look away as if it can't be real because it's Hollywood. Well, I mean, for the melanated brothers and sisters, and let's go for the pale skins too. How did Hollywood break you down to something that never existed? Well, they kept black going by people who you would think are smart because some of them talk math and this, that, and other. They don't know half of what we know. And for those who do, oh well, I don't have to say shame on them. Paleskins, how is it that most of your history is a lie? You built upon it, and they circumvented that to fight our people and make those who were tired of seeing all the wars growing up for little children, seeing all the wars that their ancestors are knowing it, who wanted to cower and hide from the war. Not everybody, because the true side of the history, reason why we're here is because we fought back and killed multiple numbers. Now, the government is a safe place to keep innocuous perversions because we never really struck out at the government except for one time, the fake government. Okay? And that was a long, long time ago. Now people are too scared to strike back at tyranny because they have bad people in position to mitigate good people into doing dumb shit. I'm just saying, it's a fact. It's in 2 books I read. So we're going to go ahead and hit this now. Yeah, majority of history is a lie. Take it personal, whatever. I don't care. What I care about is you coming to the reality of your truth and stop hogging shit that ain't yours, because it ain't none of yours. And it's coming to the point where now the brothers and sisters waking up who grew up with nothing, well, they want some payback. I mean, they ain't really too much shit because they poison y'all just the same that anybody, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I was studying that before. The majority of y'all even learned that over here. But anyway, now everybody's a super fucking man. But the case of mental illness and decrepitness. But the thing is, people got to come together and stop being stupid with fake races, fake colors. Majority of y'all, even the Pelicans, are Ashkenaz, are Sephardic. Dead ass. Don't have to believe me. But the content, not every one of them, because David Rockefeller and John D. Rockefeller, them motherfuckers is a little weird. I don't think they even from here. But a lot of y'all got us in you. And here y'all is running around because you've been nurtured and raised stupid and carrying yourselves like the biggest, I'm not going to cuss you out, the worst people walk the earth, like for real. And now the very same people that propped you up like that are the ones mitigating the destruction. You know, we got commandos and all kind of foreign fighters. Well over 5 million people came over. So let's say it took 1 million from the 5 million. Let's say the enemy. And y'all ever studied, Saigon? Not the fall. Or look at, was it Easter or Christmas celebration? Enemy in the wall, within the walls. All y'all love fake Greek mythology they keep painting for you. Helen, Troy, the love affair, and all that BS. Yeah. So you set yourselves up in your own way. Okay? Even the guy that sung that great song may have sold out. I'm just saying, with the red beard, you know what I'm talking about. Whew. Chapter 7. First of all, this is the lands of Mars, 178 worlds under the Great Dome. No confusion, by Claudio Nocelli. Okay? Let's go ahead and finish this last little chapter off. And then after this, because last time, I don't think I did this last time when I read this book. I was going to read it in Spanish and French, but let me see if it's here. I don't think it is. Oh, yeah. The Navigator Across the Ice Walls, Terra Infinita. Well, I'll read those to you, okay? To the books we've already read. So here we go. Form 1088-2, Custodian's Report. In the year of the reorganization of some colonies in the 7th period of the first land membrane, ARB 204 and Mars Landing, the natives of the colony, second membrane, ARB 201, known lands of the 6th period, and others from the lands themselves, penetrated the forbidden forest on the shores of Samaria, breaking the first treaty carried out by the leaders as a whole. Samaria, that makes me think of the Crimea. They just had a missile strike. Anyway, my apologies. Because I can misdirect your focus, so focus. While the P88 portal gate, all right, or portal/gate, had been discontinued for the reasons explained above, referring to the disappearance of personnel between matter transfer, finding no reference point, losing all communication with whereabouts unknown to date, and human beings via stem cells were found in cities of ARB 013 and Anunnaki lands, wandering in a neutralized form, robotic, aimless, mechanized. Now the same were detained outside the temple in Ubaid, and their subsequent transfer for investigation. It was observed that HOS, which would be high oxidative stress, and organs, okay, or that derived to other degenerative processes and vital organs, the material was kept for the process of exhaustive. So that means it was observed that the high oxidative stress that derived to other degenerative processes and vital organs, that means became mush, became unrecognizable within. The material was kept for the process of exhaustive studies, since this could somehow give us an answer about the missing personnel in previous transfer processes. Now, we also put on record the contribution requested to the H1 Orion race, or the Greys, as you know them, that had the important genetic material of humans of the 5th and 6th generation of the same periods, in order to be able to establish fundamental parameters in their study. Now, the result of the whereabouts of our personnel in conjunction with the Anunnaki race is still unknown, and we have not detected differential matter inside the Great Dome nor in the surrounding areas of the dark membrane. Possible lands outside the Great Dome, that is, okay? You gotta remember what the Great Membrane is. It's supposedly the membrane that covers everything, supposedly. We will continue to add to this form all information relevant to the personnel and equipment lost in transfer, as well as what occupies the dark membrane, which can clarify and understand the communications that have been carried out in various processes of research and exploration in the surrounding areas. Now, you remember we was reading one part where it was talking about the Great Membrane, where they were utilizing humanoids, they couldn't use the custodians, but humanoids, to fly an aircraft that we don't know, to see if they can pierce it, and everybody was burning up. We're talking about, not just the knees, we're talking about way, yeah. And they can't figure it out. But one thing they're aware of is that we really don't die. We go back to the source. It's considered, maybe other names as well. Now, we have found several references to the dark membrane and all the information gathered by the trustees of what can be found in a possible crossing, okay? In a possible crossing of the Great Dome. We will be adding relevant information about this in the following chapters. Anyway, we've already covered some of that, but in the next book, I believe it goes on. And right now, this right here, Libros de Autor, about the Navigator. And it's all in English. Here, the Navigator Across the Ice Walls, we read that. Let me pull this up. Okay, because I keep everything right here. Well, if I wasn't reading it, it'd all be up on the witch-call upstairs. So here we have the Navigator Across the Ice Walls, okay? Nelson Founder, but the story of Navigator William Morris, who after the independent war in the United States decides to investigate, I didn't turn off the notifications, the Independence War in the United States, decides to investigate with his new vessel the waters surrounding the Antarctic Circle, finding an unknown passage through an open sea. Other lands await him behind. along with another civilization, the story will begin to reveal the entire group another reality based on the true past and future of the human being. It will finally lead him to discovery of other worlds behind Antarctica, and most importantly, to know himself, a unique journey. Now, I have a hard time whenever they use words like in storylines, true past. That can be deliberate, forced, or coincidence, or because it's supposed to be there. So it's very decisively indecisive, right? And then we have Terra Infinita, Extraterrestrial Worlds, and Their Civilizations, the story told by the woman who was born in the lands behind the ice walls, and to which we read and analyzed that. Okay? Excuse me. To which the story told by the woman who comes from, this is William Morris's daughter, from the lands behind the ice walls in the ancestral republic, daughter of the navigator William Morris, who will provide information that was hidden from us for a long time about the worlds that are crossing the poles and the secrets of extraterrestrial civilizations. That comes from the book She-Key, to which William Morris taught daughter and mostly everybody there know. And, excuse me, we also know that this happened long after William Morris was in the Ancestral Republic, and probably right before they came on a return mission to enlighten and make sure that there were people within certain positions who knew how to blend in, tell the same lies, but at the same time would see the people carefully and knowingly to bring the information, to keep the information alive. Okay? Because a lot of people say, oh, that's the Aryan Republic. No, they're one and two different entire writings. Different. By the even authors who don't even know each other. Research is amazing when you're looking for things that they never think a person will look for. I can't wait to get back to reading Exposing the Expositions by Howard Mikowski of 1851 and 1915. Here it alludes to the fact that Belskin brothers and sisters ain't built shit here. Look, man, I don't have a problem with me. I have a problem with like people like Santos Bonacci. You know what I'm saying? The Italian immigrant. Or, oh hell, there's 1,000 people out there that know it's just the people that are born here that become stupid. That's the beautiful thing about traveling all over the world. And you dumb Negroes. Because I can't stand y'all. Y'all is the worst at the bottom of the barrel. Y'all beneath the barrel trying to dig a hole to the bottom just to say, we reign tough on the bottom. Like, make that make sense. So let's go ahead and we're gonna tap it off with The Gods of Eden by William Bramley. Okay, Snoo. All right. We're going to read, let me make sure, 2 paragraphs. That's it. And then that way you come back tomorrow and hopefully, you get that end catcher. So anyway, changes in the Brotherhood, if you remember what we were discussing, for those who are unaware, it's the White Brotherhood. There's a number of different cults and stuff like that. Anyway, changes in the Brotherhood continue. Less than 100 years after the reign of Thutmose III, his descendant, King Akhenaten, or Amenhotep IV, okay, yeah, one and the same, spent the last year of his 28-year life in transforming Brotherhood teachings into mystical symbols. Now, Akhenaten's symbols were intentionally designed to be incomprehensible to everyone except those Brotherhood members who were taught the symbols. Now, this is after they had stopped so many people, even in high places, from studying the so-called symbols and mysticism and cult-like stuff, right? Excuse me. Oh, my apologies. Secret meanings. The Brotherhood ostensibly created this new system of visual images to be a universal language of spiritual enlightenment, transcending human languages, and to prevent misuse of knowledge. In real fact, the intention was to create a secret code designed to make spiritual knowledge unattainable to everyone except those admitted into the increasingly elite Brotherhood, and apparently to eventually obliterate spiritual knowledge altogether, make everybody a slave. Now, the translation of spiritual data into bizarre and incomprehensible symbols has brought about the spectacle of honest people trying to decode garbled symbols in a quest for spiritual truths, which can and should be communicated in everyday language understandable by anyone, instead of fighting, warring, and people talking who don't know nothing and they actually believe they know something. That's a curse upon you if that ain't a mark. Anyway, despite the obvious sincerity of Akhenaten,
We discover that the transformation of spiritual knowledge into a system of obscure symbols has had a devastating impact on human society. Okay? As this manner of relaying spiritual knowledge was disseminated throughout the world by members of the Brotherhood. Now, all knowledge of a spiritual nature became misidentified with bizarre symbols and mystery. And this misidentification is so strong today that almost all studies of the spirit and spiritual phenomena are lumped into such disgraced classifications as occultism, spiritualism, and witchcraft. Thank you. I keep telling y'all, the attempt thousands of years ago to keep spiritual knowledge out of the hands of the profane has almost entirely destroyed the credibility and utility of that knowledge. Now, the Brotherhood symbolism was another piece of the biblical revolving sword. Blocking human access to spiritual knowledge, it has left only the confusion, ignorance, and superstition which have come to characterize so much of the field and the people today. Facts. You know, when you see people running around based on crayon color and they believe they have the rights to a land that we never had, we were heirs to the land. It shows you how stupid people are and how this is much less, regardless, let's say it's fictitious, it's just entertainment, right? Well, damn if that don't make a ton of sense. I have to highlight. Let me take a burp, fart, intermission, or whatever. I'm just kidding. Let me stop. That's military in me, I guess. We have a dark sense of humor. You have to. Okay, let's go ahead and get Reptilians and the History of Humankind, the Anunnaki, by Henry Crane. Actually, an exceptionally good read, even from a 33rd degree. I want to create something to have you running around buffoon. Okay. All right. We were talking about the fifth grade of Reptilian. We were the Galactic Confederation, Enlil. You know, the betrayal, and that the one betrayal of the Anunnaki, the one who wanted to save his people, his creation, that pretty much leads to Atlantean. And we already know the identity of them because it broke it down pretty good. So, and this is by somebody who is not referenced nor sourced a lot of the other books that I've been reading. Now, it's not saying that a grapevine doesn't have points which people can pick up the different narratives and put spins and changes, but you got to look at who are the ones who profess to have went to school to become geologists, archaeologists, all the top ologists, isms and shit, right? There is a continuum because even overseas there are places that these idiots didn't construct. Now it's coming more and more to knowledge today that even what they recognize as the pyramid, the Sphinx, they are looking at it as something that was put there, built there, within around the 16th, 17th century. I wonder who would do that, and then destroyed the one over here, to which still lays as foundation even bigger. All the pyramids in Utah, that if you don't know what you're looking for, you'll miss them. But the moment you know what you're looking for, you see their friggin' pyramids. They came here and did a little number on us, didn't they? Anyway, on y'all, us. However, let's get into it. Okay. However, they had a hidden plan because they knew since a long time ago that to have power upon their farm in Eurus, or Earth, okay, from the fourth dimension was not the best thing, and even less with the law of free will. Now, they knew that they were taking many risks and that they had to have representatives into the ground so that on it, okay, boots on the ground, right? So that the manipulation would be more effective. And we're seeing that being done today, over the last 30 years for those who have paid attention, okay? So they implemented a plan they had been developing for some time, which was to modify the DNA of the Igigi, all right, the gray ones, which we were reading and the before, which was the last chapter, okay? Yeah. Ain't that some pretty weird stuff, right? I mean, when you think about it, it's like, what the is there something to this? Anyway, so that they could resist the high densities of the Earth. And once finished, they would create clones so that they could be sent to Earth. So they started with genetic experimentation on the gray ones from a base in the satellite of Jupiter called Europe. Now, y'all know, right? Jupiter has how many moons? So for the heliocentric, I want to ask a question. I don't want you to start beating up the lines with an answer. I really want you to think about this. If we're traveling over 1100,000, whatever the friggin' made up magic number is, 3 is the magic number out through space. And this coiling, revolving thing with all the moons going the same way, except for Saturn, 7 moons going the opposite. Help me understand gravity and everything, and the potential for discrediting math without errors, which shows it's impossible. But with errors makes it possible. Please, somebody explain to me that we see the same side of the moon, season of the sun, which I know is only 73 miles up, if that. Okay? Facts. Now I'm going to say that. And the stars are always the same. The so-called stars are always in the same damn place. I forget the video would have made this sound. It was supposed to be going through. I was like, wait a minute, are we in a vacuum? Like, anywho, please help brother out. Serious inquiries only. I mean, seriously. Okay? Don't start getting this mumble jumble that was scripted in the education system that you think that you know something when you don't know nothing. Please. You know what I'm saying? It's like the nurse who goes to Antarctica. Yeah, the earth is round, it's not flat. If you're paying attention to that little tweak, you deserve every bit of information that you have not received. Never to receive it. Okay. Now, on Earth, and once finished, they would create clones so that they could be sent to Earth. Now, so they started with genetic experimentation of the gray ones from a base in the satellite Jupiter called Europe. The satellite Jupiter was called Europe. On Earth was 213 AD, and little had changed. The followers of Jesus continued to increase, and his followers continued to increase once he was sacrificed. Power of Enlil was fading out. Now, mind you, the subtle energies of the humans were at their lowest levels. In addition, the Roman Empire was beginning to break down with countless revolts showing the first signs of its decline. And this is the last chapter here. Enlil had tried everything. He even had changed the writings of the disciples of Jesus to convince people that he had no divine power. However, it did not work. People just took this new version of Jesus and then discarded it. In addition, the sons of Yeshua, I hate that word Jesus, who were the new leaders, is based on fake ass white supremacy. So Yeshua, okay, excuse me, to convince people that, but anyway, the sons of Yeshua, who were the new leaders of the Brotherhood of the White Dragon, had done a good job of spreading the word of Yeshua. Enlil, by not being able to delete or change the writings of the disciples of Yeshua, decided to change, I can say Quasimodo, honestly, small passages, making very subtle changes that were imperceptible to the read, but that would contribute to change the message of Quasimodo completely. For those who know. For those who don't, well, start hitting that research before the 4th or the 5th or the 6th or the cold. Especially you people like taking hot showers all the time. Don't know the first thing about upping your B vitamins and getting into the cold, which benefits your body a lot more than the heat. Unless you want to lower the cortisol levels, then take the hottest ass bath you can. Other than that, hot water is not the answer. Now we get into DNA of the Gods, the Anunnaki, creation of Eve, and the alien battle for humanity by Miss Chris H. Hardy. Okay. DNA of the Gods, the Anunnaki, creation of Eve, and the alien battle for humanity. Which this is a pretty good read, if I must say so myself. And that's why I felt like it was important that I should be reading this with that, but I'm still going to read this with American Covenant and the Women of Lemuria, because this goes with the Women of Lemuria and an American Covenant by Lucio Scott. This goes with those, even though this predates the Anunnaki and the Custodians, to which they give libations to. as far as keeping us at peace, because the Anunnaki didn't do nothing. They didn't create nothing here. And these niggas talking about me, the Anunnaki. This is dumb people just taking stuff and running with it without research. Anyway, let's get into it. Jealousy. Remember yesterday we talked about overwhelming rage? Today we're going to talk about the Anunnakis having feelings and emotions, sex and everything. I remember that supposedly the women over in Eden, we're not going to get to the names, was having sex with the men, making these beautiful, powerful women and blah, blah, blah. You know, man, mortal with gods, fake gods, to have giants and so on and so on. Because you got to remember, the custodials look like us. The custodians look like us. To believe to be an older existence. And the Anunnaki are such as our giant offspring. Whether it be, from what I've ascertained in one book I haven't read yet, anywhere from 7 to 40 feet. And we are too weak to be fighting people 40 feet unless you snap about your coma, because they poison you slowly, messed with the air, they reconfigured everything, terraformed. So anyway, jealousy. Most of the royals are sickly jealous of each other, and this despite the fact that the land has been divided into regions and cities. Almost every male, save for Marduk, sounds like the dog, right, has his own city, and within it his own temple abode. When a temple was built for an Anunnaki royal couple, Lulus, you remember what Lulus are, right, would be brought in as savants or servants, and their descendants, one and the same descendants, populated the city, creating a whole city that worshiped the royal lord of the temple. Remember when he wanted to be called lord? There was no existence? Okay. I'm just saying, you got to stay up on top of this, right? Of the temple. Of the woman, either they are married and are reigning with their husbands, or we hardly hear about them. There are only two great exceptions, Inanna, Ishtar, okay, who will at one point rise to be the first among the gods for a whole city, and of course, Nimna. Now, as we see so well with us humans, it's not because someone is at the top and gets everything in excess, power, fame, and riches, that he or she is devoid of jealousy. Now, the poor and the needy can't really afford to be angry or jealous, because that will make their living condition even worse. So now you get the agenda. They know and learn to be patient and forgiving. The Anunnaki are no exception. This is the relationship that we have, supposedly. Or should I rather say, they are clearly our blueprint. What does that allude to? We see this very well with Inanna, always prone to invade others' territories, despite the fact she was given an entire region. At the time, there were only 4 in all. Sumer for Enlil, if you want to call it Africa, or Nubia, or Mesopotamia, or no, not Mesopotamia, or Ethiopia, which would be considered, I guess, that would call part of that Egypt and South Nubia, or Africa. Okay. Now for Enki, the Sinai region of the space facilities for Nimna. All right. Yeah, Egypt and South Africa will be for Enki, even though Enlil had Africa. So it is what it is. But the Sinai region for the space facilities for Nimna. Okay, those are the 4. And the Indus Valley for Inanna. And before that, she had a temple abode in Erech, her own city. Yet as soon as one of her kin is on a faraway travel, Inanna sends her army and tries to seize his land by force, even if that god has only a single city. Is that like some retarded shit? Now, I know some in here, as far as grammatical, when I was reading it, I was actually looking like, it's like it needs another line in there somewhere. But we're going to read it as is, okay? I'm just not going to say a whole lot of Jesus. I'm not attempting to keep that damn sigh up on you. Now, I've shared enough information where people should now start looking elsewhere, and not just the one who they made the lowest and made a riddle or a joke of, like a slap in the face, Quasimodo. Bell ringer, you remember they removed all the bells in North America, South America, more so in North America than South America. And and Nostradam, to which they burned down. Now, in Crimea, the building that they struck was a Tartarian building with the pillars, just like the Capitol. Well, I mean, what's called with Lincoln and all that. So I'm just saying, don't get all caught up into what they're saying. First of all, the war shouldn't be going on. That fake president over there, and this is a big game, and y'all need to know they're taking marching orders from something above them. The problem is, because y'all stay so delirious in your delusion of life, why would they respect to hear you as a nation? You think like all the pillars are, this is the USA, or I'm the United States. Like, shut up. You got guys that go and join the police force, don't know that you're sovereign by birthright, which is stated in the damn Bill of Rights, like in the Constitution, like you're sovereign. So whenever a cop comes and says, so you're a sovereign citizen, motherfucker, did you take an oath? See, I don't even respect them. Because first of all, the shit that they doing don't apply to me. But they're too dumb to know that. It's corporate structures. I went to law school. That's the fuck I did. It's to establish a group to make a ground to make sure that you're safe and right. And they make you believe it's only supposed to be the sheriffs, which a lot of them, not all of them, are fucking that up. But the police are a revenue creator. But how can you grow up on the land and just want to be against everybody in America? See, this is the stupidity of class and everything else. They become the dredges of earth, so stupid, and they get emulated in that goddamn costume character. And they actually think that makes them professional. No, motherfucker. Running around with another gang, wearing colors, does not make you fucking professional, especially when you're not doing a job that it was actually meant to fucking do. And if they got you believing that in those policies, that little manual, that is not the fucking law. Nor is it steeped or based upon the Constitution to which you're supposed to be fucking taking an oath to which you motherfuckers don't uphold. So if you're watching, you think I give a fuck. I'm not talking about the Phantom or the O's or the organizations of secret, motivated motherfucking killers. What I'm saying is the reality of the situation, and that it's only going to get fucking worse. Wars of the Anunnaki, Nuclear Self-Destruction, and Ancient Sumer. Ain't it a hell of a way to bring in a book by Miss Chris H. Hardy? Like this is some kind of competition. And yesterday, we're talking about Akkadian and all that kind of stuff. God and man shall be bound and be one as, when they supposedly created. Okay? There's a whole lot of other stuff up there, but go back and watch it. Come back and you'll have a clear understanding. And of course, there must be such a creative force or a creator of all if this force is to be personalized. Listen, and of course, there must be such a creative force, and in parentheses, or a creator of all, if this force is to be personalized, recognized. And since they know well that they emerge to self-consciousness themselves in a world already lush with life, animal, and vegetable, they knew they hadn't created the world they found themselves to live on. And since they do not venerate a personal creator through rituals and in specific temples, we have to infer that the creator of all, while seemingly personalized as a person's name and function, is nevertheless an abstract concept and not an article of faith, as would be an unseen God. And we know they had extremely developed science and technology. Their civilization was at risk through the very serious problem of the dwindling atmosphere. One thing that is sure is that they had invented and already used nuclear power in such a way that it had been banned, well before Alicia tried to use it to stir volcanoes and send ashes into the high atmosphere, thus making it a temporary protection around it. Y'all know, like, in this story, the gold is what helps with the air and all that, and just go back and listen to the last read. It's kind of comical in a sense, but it is what it is. Either they had just started to destroy their own atmosphere the way we have started to destroy ours, or we can't destroy this, or they had met extreme astronomical conditions that damaged it. Who remembers what's the hydrogen with the nuclear fishbowl when they were exploding all those nuclear weapons above us? Y'all don't remember? Go and look up the video footage, man. It's crazy. You'd be surprised. Some places is way away from here. And how far can that be for a nuclear explosion? such as approaching too near a plane, such as approaching too near to a plane or its satellites, or receiving a dreadful impact from a huge meteorite. After all, theirs was a nomad planet who created havoc when it first came into our part of the sky. Into our part of the sky. That's why I keep telling you, the lands of the Anunnaki is right next door to us. Plain, flat, planet, extra, ET, terrestrial. Come on. And it was also at one of its perigees that Nibiru's magnetic pull triggered a huge wave, the deluge that swept over the whole earth. We know that there was weapons there. We're going to leave that alone because people want to believe something else. How about the fact that maybe some people got together and made it happen to get rid of certain things? One could argue that the gods of the Nibirians, were in fact the celestial gods involved in a celestial battle that is recounted in the Epic of Creation, first translated by Stephen Langdon in 1876. I don't have that. I don't have it. I don't even have the PDF, but I'm going to look into it. When I was looking at it earlier, I was like, oh, okay, we'll stop right there. I'm going to have to look into that. Let me highlight everything. We're going to stop right here. So again, that's called The Epic of Creation by, in 1876, okay? By Stephen Langhorne. What, Langhorne? Or Langdon. Leghorn. I'm going to get Leghorn. Okay, now let's get this last little book in. Yeah, but all the rest I'm getting, y'all, it's like my body saying, you know, I'm nice. People don't know. We're going to make sure you rested because something's about to go down. Because, I am tired right now. I had just dozed off for a few minutes. Like, for real. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, the picture I don't think I can show in here. Nanking and the Japanese. But anyway, we'll get to that when we get to it. It's quite a ways off. Okay. So here we have Alien World Order, the reptilian plan to divide and conquer the human race by Len Kaskin. Okay. Excellent race. He has his picture in the back, but I'm not showing you all that. We know who wrote it. Because you're not going to get no truth from it. Anyway, part one, the era of the first Star Wars. Okay. The green world and beyond. We are not alone. The astronomers are wrong. The scientists are wrong. They are here. But we cannot see them because they hide. They hide in plain sight. We are their servants and we are their slaves. We are their property. We are theirs. That's by Robert Morningsky. Robert Morningsky is a very unusual historian. Part Apache and part Hopi. Man, somebody pull this motherfucker's picture because I'm good friends with the Hopi, and we know James Brown was damn near 90% Apaches. I want to see what this idiot looked like because you know how it is when Pelskins, when y'all write a book, y'all people just fuck history up, and then you need the delusion to keep y'all running around stupid thinking you're more than what you are. When we created damn near majority of everything here. Let's see if I can pull them up. That's not hate, man. It's just the facts. Is it one? Sky. Is that right? Yeah. Let's see what kind of fucking lie we got here. Terror papers. Hold on, man. I want to see what this nigga look like, man. Is that the only picture they're gonna give me of this? Oh, hell no, man. Hell no. Here they go with that shit. No, just pay me no mind when it comes to this, y'all. This is what I do. Ugh. Could he be one of ours? He could, honestly. He really could. And y'all can Google and look him up. I'm not saving this or nothing. You brothers and sisters know what I'm saying. All right? But he could be one of ours. Don't get it twisted. Anyway, my apologies for the small intermission. Robert Morningsky is a very unusual historian, part Apache and part Hopi. He brings not only, doesn't mean half and half, y'all. He brings not only a rare Native American perspective to researching prehistoric history, but also he has inherited much of his knowledge from a unique source. He was given esoteric information that was very carefully passed down from his grandfather. It all began with an ET survivor of a New Mexico UFO crash. Sometimes before the Roswell crash, 6 young Apache men found the wounded ET in the crash wreckage, and they brought him to a desert camp on the reservation and nursed him back to health over several months. We are led to believe that this survivor was human-like, and that his rescuers were able to communicate with him in a language they both understood. Now, this encounter brings to mind the similar meeting of George Adamski, I remember that, with Orthon from Venus in the California desert of 1954. And you got to remember, Venus is a land. It's not a planet. Okay? And The Secret History of Extraterrestrials, Chapter 1. I actually want, that's one of the books that I want, when we get the money up, that I'll be ordering. I just didn't put it on, I think it's like $19, $17. Anyway, in that case, they were able to communicate successfully by telepathy. And this is now commonly known that many extraterrestrial craft land in remote locations on Native American reservations in the United States, and that their occupants communicate with the residents, who have zero interest in revealing these meetings to government authorities of any stripe. Now, one of the 6 rescuers gave Morningsky's grandfather the detailed information about Earth's ancient history revealed by the ET. It is an astounding story that appears to validate many of the conclusions of Eric von Daniken in the Chariots of the Gods series of books, which I have, but really goes way beyond those speculations. Now, the alien eventually left the desert camp and was able to live as a human, as many humanoid extraterrestrials do routinely. However, he remained in touch with his 6 friends, and over time related to them the whole story of human prehistory on this planet. They called him Star Elder. And they later learned his real name, which was Beck T. Now, she, key, and all that. So what does that allude to? That maybe a craft was shut down, Iron Giants and such? I'm saying all the readings that we do. And that, unlike what we think, he was actually, his ancestors were originally from here. Now, remember, the custodials can blend in and they look just like us. It's the Anunnaki who don't. Now, as far as the narrative where they paint with reptilians and this, that, and other, there's enough things going on under the ground, because all the buildings and stuff that we built underground, we were hunting things that we wanted to completely destroy, to which a dumb war by Ashkenazi fake-ass Jews brought, and they kept bringing people off boats. And even some of our own ancestors now change after a few centuries fighting against this. That's why I have this hard time when everybody's talking about this Africa, motherland, bullshit. I know many people who know they're from over here who are over there, and I have many people over there who I love. Even if they're from the Ashanti or the Dogon, there's many people. But even there's tribes over there, not just the Dogon, that know these stories, of our stories. Now, this stuff has a lot of painted fabrication. Just like this individual, he could be one of ours, because 2 distinct people don't mean black and white. It means us. And people who were related to us who could pass for white, but are not white, because there's no such thing as a white race of people, but a very opaque people, different hair tones and everything. Like I said, in the books based upon lynchings, it wasn't just us being lynched. It was some Spanish and French, but a lot of our own people who look pale. And on their records, to which I've proved over the last 30-something years, in Georgia, Virginia, the Carolinas, Florida, and these made-up states, right? Texas, Louisiana, there are pale skins walking around with they so-called birth of life or birth certificate that state black and Negro on it. And Negro it alludes to this is part of the first part of the paper genocide, but alludes to it being indigenous, autochthonous. Now, Kira Meal even shared this, but I've been saying this for damn near longer than he's been alive. 30 years I've been telling people. You know, in the military, when I met him, I said, y'all, that's made up. When I was hanging out with him, I was like, why them girls got some big booties like that? Oh, man, we got to show you something, bruh. Now, you know, I'm in my 20s. I'm in the military. I'm like, I'm going to live in a squalor worse than we is. Come to find out, they wouldn't betray us. They fought beside us. Even infiltrated organizations. And made many of our people wear into the Black Caucus and these worthless ass, no good niggas, Jesse Jensen, River Sharp, and all these pieces of shit. Butt plug wearing sadists, fucktards. Okay? And that's how I know what I know. Like my uncles. Man, most people don't want to hear that. So he could be related to us by way of having French or Spanish bloodline, which is more or less Sephardic, African, and that's what it is. It's very possible. So I will not deny based upon that. I will further do research. Families, you can go and check if you want to pay the price. You can follow anybody's genealogy back once you have their whole name, and if you know their mothers, and everyone here in the Bible already has a mother and father's name, so you can trace that back. As far as they won't allow it to go back. In order for them to be established, you should go back at least four generations. You know what I'm saying? This fake ass government. They were in, listen, the Mongols were in the human zoos on this land. So-called Africans were in the human zoos. This New Age Chinese, pretty dark. Share that picture. In the human zoos. The Australians in the human zoos. Even those broken from South America, considered the Mayan and Aztec, very dark. Kind of weird. You can go pull the pictures. In the human zoos. We weren't permitted nor allowed to be in the human zoos in the last fall of our Tartary, which was the next part of the reset, that they would show everybody as if they created something in early 1900s and destroy our grand buildings and utilize many of them for their own, some occult shit. For those who know about the reset and the fact that this is the blue flag with the white star, the Republic of Tartary. The Great Tartary, it was over in Georgia, now known as Russia, and parts of Prussia, which is now known as Germany, England, Europe, which is named after a melanated sister of Algonquin origin. From here, who always share the stories of Atlantis. It boggles my mind that, you pale skins don't know this, you Negroes don't know this. It's just mind-boggling. And that we've been here. Y'all can't even, they always give y'all numbers, man, to appease you. To have you set up like this is the great thing and you ain't figured out shit. They don't know how long. We've been here longer than you can even imagine. Stop with the hundreds of thousands. Man, you go way, way, way. We've been here for a long time. But even we came from an Arctic. Facts. And some time down the road, we got caught up doing things we weren't supposed to. Somebody caught us asleep. Destruction happened. And we were great seafarers. Hence, I guess, the Moorish bullshit. But anyway, yeah, and the religious, but all that's made up, man. They have to keep creating stuff. But there it goes. Here we are now. And how did Martin Luther King say it? And here we find the Negro languishing in the own corners of society. And languishing in the corners of society. And we find him in what? In his own land. Yeah, everybody skips that part. Want to talk that part, so they have an issue with it. James Baldwin. I'm not your nigga. You know what I mean? Oh, we had somebody who came with the felons, man. Did we have somebody who come with the felons, man? He looked like Fat Elvis. Yeah, right. See, I don't care if you subscribe. I'll hide you from the channel. He's gone for good. Don't be come over here with your little googly shit. Government man for die. What's going on, beloved? I'm just going to shut everybody out before I shut it down. We made it at 55 minutes. Pretty good, right? Yeah, that's all I want to read tonight. So let's go ahead and I want to mark that. I'm not going to mark it with a pen and stuff. I'm just going to go ahead because the next we're going to get into the KHEB. KHEB. We're going to start breaking some things down real serious, all right? I got you, Bronze. I got you. I got you. Oh, yeah. Snoo, APGR, Herbo. Mikey Hill, beloved. Alicia Cooper, beloved. Okay. Government man Fidai, whatever, beloved. It doesn't matter. You can be on the good or wrong. J Big, what's going on, beloved? Professor Vert, whatever the, yeah, why am I even saying that name? The Negro in his own land. Yes. And we find him languishing in the corner, in the corners of his own land. Yeah. And everybody, and there's plenty more statings out there. I mean, Benjamin Franklin's black ass talking about, do we want to bring more Africans? And it wasn't the term. That's not the word they used back then. It wasn't African. But do we need more Nubians here to make it? Because he already stated here we can find England, places where they fled. England, Germany, all the places are swarthy. And then we come here and we want to bring more of them and increase the numbers of the swarthy here. It's facts. And if you got a problem with that, man, then that means most people don't read. They don't know what any of them said. I mean, when he made a statement, if you want to hide it from a nigga, put it in the book, he was talking about everybody. He wasn't talking about some fictional black goddamn. He was talking about dumbass crayon color white folk and dumbass crayon color brown, yellow, red, blue, whatever color you want, because today now you can beat them colors. You can identify as a tree branch if you want. Don't take my name in vain. But and walk out there, just give me your hand, and go out there and say, I'm the color purple. What's your race and ethnicity? To which, what? Who would need races and ethnicities? One who had no here. So in order for them to fit in, they would have to make sure that everybody's like a monocle, divided off to become like glasses, instead of being that one force, you know what I'm saying? And being now, and with extra little flip ups and flip downs, you got a whole bunch of shit. So now you really can't see nothing. You got two different levels, one medication, two different levels of shades. You can't even really see what's going on. So here he is. Everybody running around. So the one motherfucker don't even belong. But got you all fucking fool running around like idiots. And then the ones who think that they're the best out of the bunch, who they take it further train, breaking them down further, that's all. Giving them the best shit. Let them eat the most healthiest of shit. Not eating nothing you eat. Maybe every once in a while, but really nothing. I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay? So I hope y'all enjoyed that reading. And next we'll get into ancient and modern Britain, Jews and Muslims in British colonial America, and of course we're gonna get an extensive read in Mr. William Cooper's Behold a Pale Horse. So, hey T-Mac, what's going on, beloved? What's happening? Anyway, I appreciate everybody coming in. Hit that like. If you haven't subscribe. If we're going to be getting a lot of reading. And some people might hear something that might rattle them and go, wait a minute. Oh, and that might be the factor that changed a person's perception and guides them somewhere else or have them look at something different. You know what I'm saying? And, just got to keep pushing, man. We don't always have to be negative, yelling and screaming and hollering and all hooting. I do that just to fuck with people. You know what I'm saying? But, like I said, or as I've stated, out of 3,000, you're guaranteed 10% will take the shit and run with it. Others may too, but it can be incremental. So this is a real thing. They always say, why would you waste your time doing something for the so few? I says, are you aware? I says, well, goddamn. It only takes one termite to make motherfucking thousands, nigga. What the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Now, imagine if there was nobody saying it at all. Wouldn't be nothing. That's what they want. Last time they made a mistake, they let some shit be around. And people exist. Don't believe me? Well, I know there are those who will say, man, fuck my babies and grandbabies and great grandbabies. And that's the mentality we're seeing. Sadly. I watch doorbells, right? I told you to go and check them out on YouTube and this, that, and other. Oh, platform. Some of the worst things on doorbells. And I'm always seeing these Latino men grabbing their women and fucking them up in the door camera. And sometimes brothers. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? When you have no control, but you think you're in control, everything's always out of control. Anyway, I'm going to get off of here. Make me some cachava and some ganeo and sit back and enjoy that. And we'll be back about 4:30, 4:45. How's that? And we'll get those other reads because I really want to dig into Will Cooper. There's a lot we need to get through on that one. It's not going to happen overnight, but you dig what I'm saying? Huge impact. Oh, no, baby. We make an impact together. It's not me. And you can still donate, goddammit. It's a whole lot of books. A whole lot. You heard me mention, too. A whole lot of books. Love to have them right here and just be able to sit down and just read like I'm retarded, you know? I should have took the notifications off. People commenting. So, anyway, my love and respect, beloved sisters of all walks of life and brothers of all walks of life. And we'll see you in a little bit. I know it's 2 and 1, but it's all right. All right? Yeah, thank you, baby girl. And so I'll get with y'all shortly. What is that? That's a different notification from Rumble. Okay. All right. See you next time.